Hello dears, let's discuss about ecosystems. We are going to see the concept of an ecosystem, structure and functions of an ecosystem, abiotic components, biotic components, and finally the schematic representation, that is a diagram of the structure of an ecosystem. First of all, the concept of an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a region with a specific and recognizable landscape. Natural ecosystems include forest, grasslands, deserts, wetland, and aquatic ecosystems like ponds, rivers, lakes, and sea. Man-modified ecosystems include agricultural land and urban or industrial land use patterns. The living part of the ecosystem is referred to as its biotic component and its non-living part is called abiotic component. Living organisms cannot live isolated from their non-living environment because the latter provides materials and energy for the survival of the former. Now let's see the definition of an ecosystem. A natural, functional, ecological unit comprising of living organisms, that is biotic community, and their non-living, abiotic or physiochemical environment that interact to form a stable, self-supporting system. This is the definition of an ecosystem. Ecosystems are divided into terrestrial or land-based ecosystems and aquatic ecosystems. These form the two major habitat conditions for the Earth's living organisms. All the ecosystems of the Earth are connected to one another. A complete, self-sufficient ecosystem is rarely found in nature, but situations approaching self-sufficiency may occur. Next, structure and functions of an ecosystem. Ecosystem is a major ecological unit. It has both structure and function. The structure is related to diversity of species. The more complex is the structure, the greater is the diversity of the species in the ecosystem. The functions of ecosystem are related to the flow of energy and cycling of materials through structural components of the ecosystem. From the structural point of view, each ecosystem has two main components, abiotic and biotic. Abiotic components. The non-living factors or the physical environment prevailing in an ecosystem form the abiotic components. They have strong influence on the structure, distribution, behavior, and interrelationship of organisms. Abiotic components are mainly of two types, climate factors and edaphic factors. Climate factors include rain, temperature, light, wind, humidity, etc. Edaphic factors include soil, pH, topography, minerals, etc. Now, factors in abiotic components. Soils. They are much more complex than simple sediments. Soils provide nutrients, water, home, and a structural growing medium for organisms. Next factor is atmosphere. Atmosphere provides carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and oxygen for respiration for the organisms found within ecosystems. The process of evaporation, transpiration, and precipitation cycle water between the atmosphere and the Earth's surface. Next, solar radiation. Solar radiation is used in ecosystems to heat the atmosphere and to evaporate and transpire water into the atmosphere. Sunlight is also necessary for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis provides the energy for plant growth and metabolism and the organic food for other forms of life. And the last factor is water. Most living tissues are composed of a very high percentage of water, up to and even exceeding 90%. Water is the medium by which mineral nutrients enter and are translocated in plants. Plants and animals receive their water from the earth's surface and soil. Biotic components. The living organisms, including plants, animals, and microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi, that are present in an ecosystem form the biotic components. From nutrition point of view, the biotic components can be grouped into two basic components, autotrophic components and heterotrophic components. Autotrophic components include all green plants which fix the radiant energy of sun and manufacture food from inorganic substances. Heterotrophic components include non-green plants and all animals which take food from autotrophs. On the basis of their role in the ecosystem, the biotic components can be classified into three main groups. They are producers, consumers, decomposers, or reducers. Producers. Plants are the producers in the ecosystem as they manufacture their food by using energy from the sun. They are known as autotrophs. Green plants have chlorophyll with the help of which they trap energy and change it into chemical energy of carbohydrates using simple inorganic compounds such as water and carbon dioxide. This process is known as photosynthesis. Next, consumers. Animals lack chlorophyll and are unable to synthesize their own food. Therefore, they depend on the producers for their food. The herbivorous animals are primary consumers as they live on the producers. They are known as heterotrophs. The consumers are of four types, namely primary consumers or first order consumers or herbivorous. These are the animals which feed on plants or the producers. They are called herbivorous. Example, rabbit, deer, goat, cattle, etc. Secondary consumers or second order consumers or primary carnivorous. They are the animals which feed on the herbivorous. Example, cat, fox, snake, etc. Next, tertiary consumers or third order consumers. These are the large carnivores which feed on the secondary consumers. Example, wolf. And the last one is quaternary consumers or fourth order consumers or omnivorous. These are the largest carnivores which feed on the tertiary consumers and are not eaten up by any other animal. Example, lion and tiger. And the last group of biotic component is decomposers or reducers. Decomposers are a group of organisms consisting of small animals like worms, insects, bacteria and fungi which break down dead organic material into smaller particles and finally into simpler substances that are used by plants as nutrition. They are known as saprotrophs. This is the schematic representation of the structure of an ecosystem. All that we have seen now have been covered in this picture. Thank you.